Some people say that carpetboarding and skateboarding are two completely different things. Well, I'm here to prove them wrong. Yeah, they might be right. Last year, I did a video about how to survive the winter as a skateboarder. One of the tips that I briefly discussed was carpetboarding, but at the time I lived on the second floor of an apartment building, so what I could do was pretty limited. But ya boy has moved slightly up in the world, and now I have a basement where I can carpetboard. So today I'm gonna dive deeper into the topic of carpetboarding. I'll show you how to get all set up and some practices that I recommend. So like the late great William Shakespeare once said, let's get carpetboarding, dogs. Carpetboarding is exactly what it sounds like. It is a stationary style of skateboarding that can be done on carpet or a rug or any ground type really. Currently I don't think there's any laws that say you can't carpetboard on non-carpeted surfaces, but I'll do some research and get back to you. Carpetboarding is a great thing to fall back on in the winter or if it's just a really rainy day and you got that itch to do some skating. The nice thing about carpetboarding is that you really only need three things to get going. A skateboard deck, some grip tape, and a rug or carpet to skate on, preferably on a ground level. You can really use any skateboard deck you want. It can be an old one, it can be a new one, it can be a small one, it can be a large one, it could be an invisible one. I happen to have an extra tactics board with some grip tape already on it, so that is what I've been primarily using. Of course, you can carpetboard without grip tape, but if you really want to use this as a substitute for skateboarding, I'd really recommend to get some grip tape for the board. Finally, like I said earlier, you legally don't have to carpetboard on carpet. If you've got some cement in your basement or a clean garage, that would work too. Just keep in mind that if you are carpetboarding somewhere without carpet, those falls aren't going to be as soft. And that's really all you need to know to get started with carpetboarding. I still recommend that you wear a helmet when you carpetboard and to make sure you move anything out of the way that could get broken, because sometimes that skateboard deck can go rogue. So now let's talk about what carpetboarding can do to improve your real skateboarding. One of the most straightforward practices that you can do, regardless of how much space you have, is work on your balancing. Now, if you're living the rich girl life, you could invest in a high-quality balance board. But you know your boy ain't about spending money on dumb things. Those just happen to be all gifts. Anyway, here is a DIY way to make your own balance board. Go to your local grocery store and get yourself a nice 2-liter of your least favorite drink. I say least favorite because you're probably going to want to dump that boy as soon as possible, unless you can stomach an entire 2-liter in one sitting. I can't because I got hot girl tummy issues. Get rid of the liquid somehow. I don't care how you do it, just make it happen. Then refill that bad boy up with some water and bada bing, bada boom, I just saved you some mad cash. And now you can use the carpetboard and that 2-liter of water and you got yourself a nice balance board. This is a great tool for beginner skateboarders because it really helps you focus on learning how to balance on your skateboard. And it's easy to set up and practice even if you only got a few minutes available. Even if you're not a beginner, this is a great practice to do. It will help you improve your balance regardless of how long you've been skating. And of course, balancing is so important to skateboarding. The better your balance is, the better your tricks will be. If you want a more advanced balancing practice session, then I'd recommend working on your manuals. In my opinion, the best way to do this is to just grab some trucks off your current board or an old board, pull the wheels off those, and just put them on your carpet board. You can now practice nose manuals and regular manuals without the risk of falling off and sending your board to the moon. We talked a lot about balancing techniques, but let's move on and talk about some tricks that you can practice on your carpet board. please make sure that you have enough space to do these tricks, and please carpet board at your own risk. At this time, I would like you to pause the video and read these terms and conditions. Also, there are a ton of tricks that you can practice with your carpet board, so this is going to be kind of like a little speed run sesh. Shove-its are a lot of fun to practice, and doing them on a carpet board really helps you focus on the spin of the board. And honestly, they're probably the easiest trick to do on a carpet board, so this is a great one to start with. If you got shove-its down and you want something a little bit more challenging, you can also work on your front shove-its. I was honestly not that great at front shoves at the beginning of this winter, and now I'm decent at them. But that's still an improvement, and that's the whole ding-dang point of carpet boarding, folks. I'll be completely honest with you, ollies on a carpet board are almost harder than they are on a real skateboard. The reason being is you have like -3 inches of space between your tail and the ground. However, I still think that ollies are a great trick to practice on your carpet board because it really makes you work harder for that ollie. Carpet board ollies are really gonna help you build those muscles up in your legs, so then when you get back out on a real skateboard, you'll be able to ollie to space. At the very least, if you can't get those carpet board ollies down, then just working on the foot fundamentals is a great practice, which will hopefully prevent you from having to fall 50 times on cement on a real skateboard. Finally, I'd recommend doing some kickflips on your carpet board. Kickflips are pretty difficult to do on a real skateboard, and they're not any easier on a carpet board. The reason I recommend practicing kickflips on a carpet board is it really helps you with two aspects of the kickflip: the speed of the flip and the power you have to use with your foot. Wing. Because you have such little air to perform a kickflip, it pretty much requires that you do a perfect kickflip every time. Fair warning though, no matter how well you think you did a kickflip, it's always gonna look slightly trash on a carpet board. I've been doing kickflips for years, and when I do them on a carpet board, it makes me disgusted with myself. For the record, you can pretty much practice any trick you want on a carpet board, just know that some are gonna be way more harder than others. For some reason, for the life of me, I cannot get a heel flip rotation down on a carpet board. So I've personally just had to chalk that one up as a defeat, but I'm sure there are plenty of you out there who can do one. So don't beat yourself up if your friend can do a switch tray flip and you can't even do a shove-it. It's all just for fun. Carpetboarding is in no way a one-for-one replacement for skateboarding, but it can be a great practice for these long winters. I personally only carpetboard about 1 to 3 times a week, and I mainly do it just to make sure that I can still skateboard when the springtime rolls around. I'd recommend that if you have the space, try out some carpetboarding. Even if you don't see the immediate benefits, you will be very grateful when spring rolls around and you don't have to relearn all your tricks. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button on your way out, and maybe even consider subscribing if you want to see more skateboarding content like this in the future. And as always, have fun, good luck, and keep shredding the gnar.